So to start our card holder, open up web browser and go to easel. The computers in the makerspace have the password already saved, so it just goes straight into the page, and we will start a new project. And we'll use the file dropdown to import the G code that we generated in Fusion 360. Card holder. You'll see a little preview. And if you notice our screen up here, the carve and the move buttons are blue, which means that the controller is not connected or it's not turned on. So we'll reach behind the back of the controller, turn the machine on. There's a little switch back there. And you'll hear the servos engage, and in a moment, we should see this go green. Okay, so now we can go into our program. And we're not going to be using the default home settings, so we'll unlock without homing. And we'll accept the importing G-code prompt. And now we will secure the material, and we will also change the bit because we have a bit in from a previous operation. It's not the one that we're currently going to be using. So to secure the material, I'm going to use double-sided tape. And our part is not huge, so I'm going to do two approximately 3-inch size pieces, smush them down. So it looks about like that. I want to make sure it's adhered really well. And then I will peel away the protective liner. And I'm going to place this down on the fence area here. And then put some weight on it to make sure that it's firmly attached to the table. So now I'll move on to changing the bit. I'm going to use the jog keys over here. And I'm going to jog using this 0.1-inch increments, the Z axis up so that I can access the bit area. I don't want to go too far and to where I bottom it out. So now, let's see, I'm going to bring this up closer. I'll use the 1-inch increments to navigate the head up to me a little bit closer. I'll go back to the 0.1 increments. And I want to ensure that the main spindle power is not plugged in before I go. So I can see over here that it's not plugged in. So I can't accidentally turn the spindle on. And on the left-hand side of the spindle, there's a lock switch. And with my hand, I'll rotate around until it clicks into place. Hold down the lock button and use the wrench to loosen this nut. And I'm going to take the nut all the way off and remove the old router bit. And there was a sleeve, a bushing sleeve in there that we'll take out. And I should just be left with this small router collet nut. And I can place my bit to where it just barely bottoms out on the top there. I'll put this back in and screw it in place. And I will push the button on the side here again to lock it. Rotate it by hand until it's kind of tight, and then take the wrench and tighten it further. So now it's securely held in place, and we can move on to the next operations. So I'm going to jog the, oh, I'm sorry, I need to select material and follow the prompts. I'll be using the touch off probe. So now it's asking me to jog the machine over the material. And for this, I can use these keys or the keyboard command keys, the little arrow keys. So I'll push that down. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the jog to 1 inch increments and just depressing the button once per pass. And I want to fine tune this. I'm shooting to be in the middle and about 3 inches out. I can bring that into 2 inches since our overall part is going to be 3-inch diameter. So that works right there. That's right about 2 inches, and it's centered. So we'll confirm the position. The next thing it asks is that we plug in our touch-off probe. So I'm going to plug it in. I place the clip on the router head, and the little brass plate goes directly underneath the router head. So I'll select clip is placed. It's asking us to confirm contact by touching the plate to the bit. So we have confirmation there. And now we can start the probe. So once it touches, it sets the Z value. So go on with the screen and put away the probe. Now if you recall from the Fusion video, we set our XY0 at the center of the part. And so I've positioned 2 inches away from the edge and the center of our boards, which is about 3 inches. So that will put us in a good location to where our center circle will be correctly located. So I need to establish the machine XY0. So I'm going to select the set XY. And normally we would be using the dust collector and dust shoe, but for the video demonstration, I'm not going to be using it. So I'm going to say that it's attached when it really is not. So now it's asking us to turn on the spindle. I'm going to plug the spindle in, turn it on, and initiate the program. If anything at all goes wrong in the first 20 or 30 seconds, I want to hit the emergency stop button. So I will plug in the spindle, turn on the router, It makes crazy noises. R2-D2, the little robot in Star Wars. Yeah, it makes a lot of weird, silly noises. Okay, yeah, that's kind of Wall-E style too. Now we can we'll turn off the spindle, and we'll move the router head up just a little bit. Select the 1-inch increment icon and move it away from our workpiece. And we want to make sure we unplug the spindle at the same time. Now it's time to take the piece off and do a little bit of sanding, and we're all done.